It's Madden NFL 22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Seahawks and the Barons coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Brooklyn ball club. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by a former #2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, it's Zach Wilson.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. That door's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Wilson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. It's caught here by Adams. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about them picking up that one? That was big for them.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Johnson. A gain of 3, 2nd down. It's a pickup of Throwing is Wilson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off the draw. Here's Johnson. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. There's Wilson to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. D. Ford has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
And tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Here come the Seahawks. Time for that offense and quarterback Russell Wilson to go to work.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Okay, give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 13 carries, 62 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2nd and 8. Now it's Carson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Wilson. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. And he He's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
2nd and 5 now. Wilson, he's got Njoku over the middle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 45-yard line. Play action. Now Wilson. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Let's go.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. D. Ford has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 46. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but you know.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding what receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Under pressure, they got him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Coverage is awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Braden Mann now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in 1st place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the #1 seed so you get that 1st round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
On 1st down, it's Carson, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter #2. Now it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 3rd down. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 45. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one. That's double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin them inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson. Being chased out left. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They'll run on first down. Carson, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 30 on 2nd, in trouble, and he's taken down. Quinnen Williams, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Johnson with a completion over the middle. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Play action. It's Wilson. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. He'll find Metcalf.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 7.
On the delay, here's Carson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. On 3rd down, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
McPherson on for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. They go play action with Wilson. He hits Adams, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wilson. They'll check this down to Johnson. That catch good for only a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now Wilson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man left side. That's the tight end, Herndon. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Wilson to throw. Got an open man, it's QT. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st down, Carson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Flushed out right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Let's go. They're on 21-yard line.
Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. From the 27, Wilson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Wilson will throw again. Man open, here is Crowder. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well. So now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills who lead that one late in the second quarter. Gabriel Davis, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they lead the visiting Browns in that one at halftime. A touchdown run for Najee Harris. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Jalen Waddle, a touchdown reception. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, on the other side, they too found some success throwing the football, but I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we meant to dial things back a little bit.
On 2nd and inches, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 38. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as he'll go for 2. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. Last week, they got the victory against the San Francisco 49ers. They've got the lead in this one as well right now. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. Incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Sheldon Rankins in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
2nd and 14.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. They have pressure coming, and they got him once again. Quentin Williams in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
The coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry, or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up, and it always happens a little bit better if they feel like their quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. And a loose football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
4 yards to go on second down from the 7.
That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over. I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. They've got his man complete. And all the way in for the touchdown. Elijah Moore, 83 yards. And the Barons are an extra point away from capturing the lead.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the 3rd quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, there weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the Surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
We'll see. Maybe he just needs a cut. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Marcus May with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Now for the point after. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
So
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He has to sort of pick himself up off the mat now, Charles. They were winning at halftime, now losing it. He's not playing well.
Sometimes you get into a position where you get a little bit too greedy. You feel great about how you're playing. Good first half. Hey, I can do even more in the second half. And then you make throws that you're not supposed to. As you said, he's got to start to turn things around.
See if he can erase those 2 third-quarter interceptions from his mind. Now it's Wilson. Short throw to Disley. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
On first down, Carson, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 50 yards on the ground for him so far. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw is Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. A pass underneath for Carson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Here's Carson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They begin the drive with Johnson. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They go to Johnson again. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Complete, it's Johnson. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. Escapes the defender. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He hits Adams, complete. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play there. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And it'll be intercepted.
Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in the lead, like you said, back to the basics. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Open man is QT, complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They run it with Carson. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
A gain of 1 yard. And the Seahawks 1st down.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was was a tale of two halves, weren't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now on now is the punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
This is Carson. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. From the 38, Wilson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. There's Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 24, Wilson. Get the connection there. It's incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. McPherson's kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 77 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Throwing is Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. Devontae Adams. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Barons look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And you'd think on 3rd down and just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air according to next-gen stats. Wow. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
and not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point safely through, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Wilson. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. On 3rd down, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for Seattle.
The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Looking to throw. Wilson. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, Wilson.
And this will go to Carson out wide.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Joseph. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for only a couple.
Boy, that one was well-read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Second down and goal. Wilson. His throw incomplete. Third and goal. Keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Gonna give this time to the tailback. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Chris Carson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you...
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. D. Ford in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And they'll send out their punter now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with the referee. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing now is Wilson. And that is is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now Wilson.
A pass underneath for Carson.
And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. Now down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, possession switches hands. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll indeed take a knee. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the home team here, they move back over 500 now at 6-5.